Hello everyone, welcome back. Today we'll discuss the LT Elevator Limited IPO, a small and interesting company that just came to the market. If you're a beginner or even a moderate investor, I'll break it down for you in very simple terms. What the company does, its financials, IPO details, subscription status, and finally, whether you should consider investing. Let's start with introduction. About the company. LT Elevator Limited was incorporated in 2008. It's not related to Larsen & Toubro, L&T, so don't confuse the two. This is a family-run business promoted by Arvind Gupta, Usha Gupta, and Yash Gupta. The company is into elevator and escalator solutions. They design, manufacture, install, and maintain elevators, including passenger lifts, goods lifts, hospital elevators, and even home lifts. Through their subsidiary Park Smart Solutions, they also provide automated multi-level car parking systems. They have a manufacturing plant in Rajpur, West Bengal, with capacity to produce about 800 elevators per year. They also have sales offices in Delhi, Patna, Bhubaneswar, and Guwahati. Recently, they completed projects in Silchar and Imphal smart cities. So it's a growing regional player with pan-India presence. Now let's talk about the IPO. IPO size, 39.37 crore. Issue type, 100% fresh issue. No OFS. So money goes into the company. Shares offered, 50.48 lakh equity shares. Price band, 76 to 78 per share. Lot size, 3,200 shares. So the minimum application amount is about 2.5 lakh at the upper band. That's high, because this is an SME IPO. Dates. The IPO opened on 12th September 2025 and closed on 16th September 2025. Listing is on 19th September 2025 at BSE SME. Use of funds, mainly for working capital, investment in the parking subsidiary, and general corporate purposes. After the issue, promoters' holding will reduce from around 85% to about 62%, which means they are still strongly invested in the company. Now numbers. Revenue FY25, 56.5 crore, up from 40.1 crore in FY24. Profit FY25, 8.9 crore, up from 3.17 crore in FY24. In FY23, profit was only 1.25 crore. EPS 8.5 in FY25 versus 3.44 in FY24. Net worth 45.43 crore in FY25. Borrowings about 17.3 crore in FY25. Return on net worth approximately 19 to 20%. Debt to equity approximately 0.38, which is moderate. So the company has shown very strong growth in the last 2 years. Profit has almost tripled year on year. At the IPO price of 78 rupees and FY25 EPS of 8.5 rupees, the PE ratio is about 16 to 17 times. Compare this to the only listed peer, Aaron Industries, which trades at a PE of over 40. So, valuation looks reasonable. Maybe even a bit cheap if the company can sustain growth. Now, what about gray market premium and demand? GMP before listing was only around 0 to 10 rupees. That means in gray market, shares were trading between flat and 12% premium. Subscription data. Day 1, overall 53% subscribed. Retail 59%. HNI 1.07 times. QIB 0%. By final day, the issue got fully subscribed, but not heavily oversubscribed. So response was lukewarm compared to other SME IPOs, which sometimes get 20 to 50 times oversubscription. Let's talk about strength and risk. Start with strong points, strong revenue and profit growth, reasonable valuation compared to peers, 15 plus years in business, ISO certified, solid order book of over 200 crore, anchor investor participation, Invicta Continuum Fund. Now let's talk about some risk involved. SME IPO, minimum investment 2.5 lakh, low liquidity, harder to exit quickly, limited retail participation. Growth spike is recent. Sustaining margins will be the real challenge. Competes with global giants like Otis, Coney, Schindler. Given the low GMP and modest subscription, listing gains may be flat to 10 to 15% at best. It's unlikely to see huge listing day fireworks. For short-term traders, this may not be very attractive. So, should you invest? If you're a beginner or conservative investor, my advice is to skip this IPO. The minimum amount is too high, liquidity is limited, and listing gains don't look exciting. If you are a moderate to aggressive investor with higher risk appetite, and you believe in India's growing elevator and smart city sector, you can consider a small exposure for long-term holding. At current valuation, the IPO looks fairly priced. And if the company delivers consistently, it could reward patient investors over 2 to 3 years.